Starting off from the 109 G4, we'll look down to our lower left. We have the tail wheel lock. Pulling it back unlocks the tail wheel and pushing it forward is in the locked position. We have the flap control wheel. Rolling it aft will extend it and forward will retract, and we can see the bars outside. Each bar is worth 10 degrees of flaps. Next to that is the horizontal stabilizer trim, and we have the tailplane incidence indicator as well. There's your throttle. And under that, you have the propeller pitch control. We'll switch between automatic and manual. Then on the throttle itself, you have the propeller pitch control to adjust your propeller pitch. Then you've got your backup mechanical landing gear position indicator. Moving towards the front panel, there's your landing gear position, magnetos, your ammunition counters for machine gun and cannons, the repeater compass, altimeter and kilometers, the artificial horizon with turn and bank indicator, airspeed indicator in kilometers per hour, clock, manifold pressure, tachometer which measures your RPM, the propeller pitch indicator, your coolant exit temperature and oil intake temp, low fuel light, fuel gauge, and your split fuel and oil pressure gauges. Down the lower right, you got the water radiator controls, which you can swap between automatic and manual control, at which point you can open or close them manually if you want. Here we have navigation lights and our instrument lights. And under that we have oxygen equipment. Now we'll start the airplane, and here are some pilot's notes to have a look at and review while the engine's starting. Alright, so now the engine started, we're going to start taxiing. It's optional, but if you want to have more control while taxiing, you can use manual propeller pitch control and then put pitch to the maximum. And right now our tail wheel is locked because we're going straight, but it's recommended you unlock the tail wheel when making turns so they'll make them a bit easier. So as we're coming up the runway, we get ready for takeoff. Make sure the tail wheel is locked, and we'll hold the back pressure and continue going straight to ensure the tail wheel is locked. Then we'll set our flaps at 20 degrees, horizontal stab trim to +1, water radiators to auto, and the propeller pitch to auto. Then we'll rotate at 180 km per hour. By 200 km per hour we'll start raising the flaps. Then we'll begin our cruise climb at 270 km per hour to 3,000 meters. So now we're closing the canopy, getting our flaps out to 20 degrees, which we can verify by looking at the two bars on the flaps outside. Put our horizontal stabilizer trim to +1, propeller pitch control to automatic, and the water radiators on auto. So we're going to smoothly start applying the power. We'll start rolling. You're going to require right rudder to keep straight. Push forward on the stick and start getting the tail off the ground and accelerate further. And once we reach 180 km per hour, hit a back pressure and we rotate. Yeah, the positive rate of climb, so we start raising the gear. We're belted underneath us now, we can start retracting the flaps up. They'll need to be retracted before 250 km per hour. Then we can start our cruise climb at 270 km per hour, 1.15 atmosphere. So as always, we're going to make that left turn and get in the pattern to get ready for landing. On downwind, you want to be below 300 kilometers per hour, and once you are below that, you'll start extending the landing gear, and then you ensure the tail wheel is locked. You'll set horizontal stabilizer trim to between -4 and -5. Propeller pitch, you can leave auto or have it on manual at 12 o'clock. This will allow you to reduce speed to 220 kilometers per hour by the end of downwind, and then you can start extending the flaps fully. Then on the base to final turn, you'll be aiming for about 200 kilometers per hour as an approach speed. So now we're established on downwind below 300 kilometers per hour, we can extend the landing gear, set the propeller pitch to manual, and put our propeller pitch to the 12 o'clock position. Horizontal stabilizer is set between -4 and -5. Airspeed is starting to decay a little bit more. We're getting down to about 220 kilometers per hour. We're also nearing the end of downwind, as we can see by looking at the left. Looks like we're approaching it now, so we'll start extending the flaps all the way out. Then we'll initiate our curved base to final turn. I'm going to aim for the speed of 200 kilometers per hour on the way in. Just like always, as we're making our base to final turn, we want to visualize our aiming point on the runway. Then we'll use our pitch to adjust that point, and then we'll adjust our throttle to control our airspeed. Got a nice long runway to use, so I can put the aiming point a little bit further down, holding our airspeed of 200 on the way in. We'll start rounding out and reducing power, getting into a 3-point position in the flare. We'll touch down, and we hold full back pressure, start applying the brakes, and the 109 will come to a stop pretty quickly. After you come to a stop, you can open the canopy, retract the flaps, and then begin taxiing back. That completes the tutorial video for the 109 G-4. If you'd like to let me know using the like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to be a subscriber to see more videos.